So on June 30th, we're having a radio show. We're going to be on WRNE Choice 106.9. We're going to do business spotlights. We're going to do community spotlights. We're going to talk about business tips. We're going to talk about so many great things. Mr. Hill will not be on that show. He is graciously letting us use his radio station for that event. But if you're interested in being spotlighted, you're doing great things, you can come and toot your own horn, and we'll put you on the air. If you're this month, we're going to do the radio show, and we would love to spotlight different businesses. It's a great opportunity to advertise and market your business and the things that you're doing in the community. It won't be no cost to you. Just wanted to make an announcement that if any of you guys are interested in tourism, Visit Pensacola is looking for some people to be involved on their events committee and their marketing committee. This is a great opportunity. You don't have to have a long resume. All you can just have is a desire to want to learn about tourism, which is a big, huge market in Florida. It's a huge market in Pensacola. They need some more diversity. They need different people to represent. So you could just get with me. We can put your name in the hat. It's a great opportunity. July 15th is our next general body meeting. We will have the CEO of Gulf Power, Mr. Stan Conley. Jabril, one of our board members, will be interviewing him. Gulf Power is heavily involved in economic development in our city, and also talk to them about how we can do business with Gulf Power, because they're a huge consumer and they subcontract and they're vendors. So please join us July 15th. We start at 5:30. The event, the doors open at 5:30. We don't start the program at 6. It's not that we're starting late, just giving people time to get in and get settled. So that would be an exciting opportunity to meet some different people. The last thing is, before I let our special guests come up, and they're just pretty much going to talk to you about, we live in Hurricane Alley, Street, Boulevard, all of the above. But they're going to talk to you about, a lot of us, we kind of know what to do as a personal person, but if you're a business owner, what do you do when a disaster strikes? Because it does strike your business as well as your home personally. Well, we've teamed up with some of the local area chambers in the partnership with the area chambers of Escambia County and Santa Rosa County. We have what they call Business Emergency Response Toolkits, also known as BERT bags. The idea behind the BERT bag is that you'll have this checklist, which we do have, and we can email to you, and it pretty much gives you an idea of the things that you will want to keep in this bag. So I can't show you a picture of the bag so everybody can see it, but pretty much the bag can get wet, can be tossed around. Oh, you have some. Yeah, that's the bag. So you pretty much would be able to put your business items in it, and that way, if it's floating around when you come in one day, or Hurricane Ivan has blew it across the street, you can look for your little orange bag and get it and find your personal items. So when SBA and FEMA comes in and you need those items, you can just hand them the bag, right? But I'm gonna let Pam come up first, and then she's going to talk to you guys about FEMA, SBA, and mitigation.
I call Nicole Obama because it's just that hard to get an appointment with her. But when you do, she's so gracious. Thank you. I've loved working with the Gulf Coast African American Chamber. I'm Pam Mason, and I'm with the private sector division of FEMA. I'm a Florida girl. I'm from St. Augustine, Florida. I live in Boca Raton in South Florida, and I was deployed here along with others, many others, to work with this community as well as the other affected counties after the floods that happened here a couple of months ago. I was in New Jersey 10 months, the last couple of years working with Hurricane Sandy, worked the Tuscaloosa tornadoes. I don't know if you remember, when 63 tornadoes touched down in the Tuscaloosa, Birmingham area in one day. And I don't know if any of you were fortunate enough to see those pictures last night on television of the twin tornadoes out in Nebraska. I mean, I sat there with my mouth just open, and then they merged. And quite often, having grown up in hurricanes, and when you were children, you thought hurricanes were fun, because all the lights went out and the candles went on, and it was fun. And but it's not so fun when you're an adult and you have a home, a business, even a renter, it can destroy. And as I tell my parents, who I have gone over with numerous times, what will you do in case of a hurricane and I get those blank looks? And I work with FEMA, and I've gone over this with you like 5 times a year. You never know, and I've seen it and witnessed it firsthand. You never know what it's like until it hits you. And you think you know, and all you have are the clothes, basically. I was driving on at least a 5-mile bridge, 4 to 5 mile bridge, from the Outer Banks over to Cataract County, and something just didn't seem right. And I'm in the middle of the Chesapeake Bay, and that was the earthquake up in the Virginia area. If you remember, they had to shut down the Washington Monument for a while for repairs. Being in the middle of a bridge over the bay was not the greatest place to be. But things happen. Some of the most devastating disasters I've seen have been the tornadoes. They can make communities look like a pile of matchsticks. I lived in Miami during Hurricane Andrew. I'm dating myself now, but these things are important, and for some reason, us included, we just don't take time to do what we need to do to prepare until we see it on the news and it's heading that way, heading this way or towards your way. And one of the things that we want to emphasize today is not only personally, but as a business, as business people, you should be prepared for, we live in Florida. I've noticed driving, this is my first time, I went to FSU, but I never came west that much. But I noticed you drive 5 miles in any direction in Pensacola, you're on water. We live near water. Where I grew up, St. Augustine, on the water. South Florida, on the water. We have water. And disasters can, not only be hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, but as in your case, floods. These things can happen. The pipes burst in your home. That's a disaster. So we just want to do all that we can to get the word out to individuals to take time, sit down with your family, practice a disaster plan, practice what would you do in case of a hurricane. Within hurricanes, a lot of times that's what do the damage. You can't see them, they may not look like what you saw on television last night, but they're there, and they destroy, and they do a lot of damage. Oftentimes for business owners, it takes a weekend or a couple of weekends. Sit down, make out a business plan, elevate your important information, back up your files on your computer. There are things that you can do that it takes time, but it's so very worth it, that when you're hearing the news saying that within, a couple of hours, you're not running around trying to get everything together. We have some very good brochures in the back and posters. Every business should have a plan. These are put out, they have great ideas. If you have a not-for-profit, you can actually go to ready.gov on the website, and you will be able to order a certain number of these free to give out to other individuals if your business is a not-for-profit. This is more for individuals. Preparing makes sense. Get ready now. These are also on the ready.gov website. And we have information back there, even preparing your pets for a disaster. Because to many people, their pets are just like their children. And so you want to know what to do. We have a small brochure back there with an emergency supply list. Things like, you should have how much water individuals need. Because once the electricity cuts off, you need water. You need water to flush toilets, you need water to bathe, you need water to drink. So it tells you all of these things. And I have friends who were personally affected by Andrew, and they said, that, and I've talked with individuals, that you just don't know how important things are like ice and like, just plain water until you don't have access to it. And, we're wanting to encourage individuals to not wait until that critical time, but because you live in Florida, because you know what the possibilities are that these things can happen at any given time, We just want the community to be as prepared as possible. Also, FEMA has been here for the last couple of months doing disaster registration. That period ends on July 7th. So if you know anyone who has been affected in any way by the recent flooding, be sure to have them call and register. The number is 1-800-621-3362. That is the number to register. Again, that registration period ends on July 7th, and we want anyone who, if you have any questions about registration, if you have cases with FEMA, they need to call and try to get as many answers as they can. We can't answer them here because those are handled by our group individual assistants. At this time, I'm going to call up Jack Camp from the Small Business Administration, and following him will be Bob, and I always mess up.
Thank you, Nicole, for inviting us here to speak to your folks, and appreciate everybody coming out tonight to hear what we have to say. Pam talked about disaster preparedness, and I've got the Small Business Administration has a great disaster loan program. It really is. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. But really, and sometimes people, when I tell them the terms that we can offer people, they're like, wow, where do I sign up? Well, you don't want a disaster loan unless you really need it. And what you need to do when it comes to preparedness, I think one of the most important things that you need to do is take a look at your insurance and look at it on a regular basis. Every year, sit down, look at your insurance coverage, talk to your insurance professional, gauge your needs. What are the types of disasters that you might be subject to? And talk to your insurance professional about those, and make sure that you have the coverage that addresses your most likely needs for insurance. You know, one of the important types of insurance that you're going to want to look at is flood insurance. Your homeowner's insurance, your business insurance typically does not cover flood damage. Everybody, I think we're all in a participating community here in West Florida. So everybody can buy insurance. I hear people say, well, I'm not in a flood zone, so I can't get insurance, or I'm in a flood zone and I can't get insurance. Well, no. Everybody can get flood insurance. It's more expensive if you're in a flood zone in a specified flood hazard area. But if you're not in a flood zone, it's very cheap. It's a very good deal. As we saw here about a month ago, I think most of the damage, sadly, was in areas that weren't in specified flood hazard areas. But if you get 20, 25 inches of rain in one day, it's going to flood on top of the mountain. Now, my loan program. I do want to talk about, I don't know how many people here were affected by the disaster, by the flood, but in a disaster, the Small Business Administration offers low-interest, long-term loans to homeowners and renters, as well as businesses that were affected by a disaster. In fact, in this disaster, most of our business so far has been for the homeowners. We have approved over $25 million in home loans so far, nearly $4 million in business loans, a little over $29 million so far. In fact, in a disaster, the Small Business Administration usually is the primary source of financial assistance from the federal government after it's all said and done. FEMA's money flows out more quickly, but we get our money, and by the end of the day, we typically will get more money out on the street. And so, you know, you want to take advantage of this. This is a critical part of the federal government's disaster assistance program. And the loans that we're offering for homeowners, they have interest rates as low as 2.188%, for businesses as low as 4%, with terms up to 30 years. One of the things we just recently changed, I think, that you'll like, is that we've raised our unsecured loan limits for physical damage up to $25,000, so a homeowner can borrow up to $25,000 on an unsecured basis. These loans are very quick to get approved and to close and disperse, so you can get money in your hands pretty quickly. Businesses, the same $25,000 limit on the unsecured loans, but also on our working capital program, you can get up to another $25,000 on an unsecured basis. So a business could conceivably get anywhere from $25,000 to $50,000 unsecured money from the Small Business Administration, with interest rates, as I say, as low as 4% for up to 30 years. That's a pretty good deal. Businesses can borrow up to $2 million based on your uninsured verified losses that we determine. Homeowners can get up to $200,000 for their real estate. Homeowners and renters could borrow up to $40,000 for personal property. That'll include automobiles if they were damaged in the storm. And I just want to encourage you to follow through with the federal disaster assistance process if you were affected by the storm. Oh, one thing I do want to mention about those economic injury loans, those are working capital loans. Your business did not have to have had a physical damage in the disaster to qualify for one of them. You just have to have been affected by it to the extent where you can't pay your bills. So then you can qualify. You can come to us, apply for the loan, and as I say, you can get up to $2 million based on your eligibility for up to 30 years. For the homeowners and renters, just in closing, I want to stress how important it is for you to follow through with the Small Business Administration if you refer to us, because FEMA has a lot of grants. Everybody wants a grant. You don't have to repay them. They're great. I get that. I'm all about that. So get every bit of grant you can. But some of FEMA's grants are dependent on the SBA loan program. So if you were referred to SBA, in order to maximize your grants, you're probably going to have to apply for that SBA loan. Let us make a decision, even if you don't want a loan or you know you can't afford a loan, won't qualify for a loan, go ahead and apply. Let us make that decision. And if you don't qualify, then we send you back to FEMA where you may be eligible for additional grant monies. But if you don't apply, we can't make that decision. And so that part of FEMA's grant program won't be available to you. That's the main thing I've got, and I'm going to ask Bob to come up here from mitigation. He's going to talk a little bit more about mitigation, disaster preparedness, and thank you. You had a question.
How long do you have to be in business? Had your business had you been in business?
There's no limit on that with the disaster loan program. In fact, theoretically, a business that was organizing could apply for the loan. As long as you can document that you were organizing your business and you had a disaster-related loss, then we can assist you with one of our loans. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Yes, Nicole.
Someone asked me if you have a debt to the federal government, can you get an SBA loan? Say like.
Well, yeah, you can get the debt. Now we can't refinance that debt. We can't roll it all together.
No, I mean like I know the SBA and the federal government is tied, but let's say I got a tax debt that I'm paying for a student loan.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good question. You do have to be. We are part of the federal government. Okay. So you have to be in good standing on any other indebtedness. Now, if you have a plan, say for some back taxes, as long as that plan's in place and you can show that you've been paying on it, that in and of itself wouldn't be a problem. As long as the rest of your credit history is pretty good, and you can show repayment ability. On that, when it comes to credit, these are loans, so you have to meet our underwriting criteria. But we're a little more lenient than a typical commercial lender. If you've got some issues, explain it to us. We may be able to work around it, maybe not, but we'll listen to you because we do want to assist as many people as we can. And I'll turn it over, unless there's another question, I'll turn it over to Bob. And I'll be back here. If you have another question, feel free to bend my ear.
Thanks, Jack.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nicole. Thanks for asking FEMA to be here tonight. My name is Bob Picarazzi. Good evening, everyone. And I'm with FEMA's Mitigation Division. Mitigation manages the National Flood Insurance Program. Mitigation, creating safer communities to reduce the loss of life and property. Support a more resilient, sustainable future. That's very good stuff. It's hard to get to, but we're getting there here in the state of Florida. And it's not an individual effort, it's a team effort. And in order to create effective mitigation, you need strong partnerships. Florida has strong partnerships. The state of Florida is very good at mitigation and helping its citizens be prepared and recover. They have a strong partnership with the federal government, with their communities, with the counties, and with the citizens, individuals and businesses. Nicole mentioned your partnership with Santa Rosa County and Gulf Breeze. They're very good. They all have very good web pages, especially the state of Florida and their CERT team. If you haven't seen their web page, I encourage you to go to it. It's floridadisaster.org. You can go there and click on mitigation. I'm going to give you a few web pages while I'm up here speaking, and you can write them down, or I have them written down. I'll give you a copy of them all later. But you can go to this web page and find out a whole lot about mitigation. You can see their state hazard mitigation plan, again, which is very good in Florida. It's what they call an enhanced plan. There's only 9 states in the country that have an enhanced plan. And because they took the time to do this, it makes more money available after an event like this for certain grants and other programs. You can see your local floodplain manager on this webpage, and that's important. It's important to know that person. They can help you get started on some of these programs. You can also see effective mitigation features. So take advantage of it. Take advantage of the partnerships and look at what's out there. It'll help you. Second thing I want to talk about is flood risk. How many folks here know their flood risk? Know what hazard zone you're in, what your base flood elevation is. If you don't know it, it's important to know it. And you can get this information from FEMA's Mapping Center. And you can go to that webpage, which is msc.fema.gov. Plug in your address, and it'll prompt you to the risk map that'll show you the information that you need to know on the property where you live, whether you're a homeowner or renter. Once you know your flood risk, then you can analyze it, reduce it, and most importantly, insure for it. And that's probably the most important thing that you can do at this point in time. Purchase flood insurance. Doesn't matter if you're a homeowner or a renter, if you're in a hazard zone or a non-hazard zone. As the gentleman from Santa Rosa always says, the world's a flood zone. Purchase flood insurance, most especially here in Florida. If you're in a hazard zone and you own real estate, you're going to be required, and you have a mortgage, they'll mandate that you get flood insurance. They'll make you get it. If you don't own real estate and you're not in a hazard zone, or if you own real estate and you're in an X zone, nobody's going to require it. And if you're a renter, it doesn't matter where you live, nobody's going to require it. But don't let that stop you from getting it. Almost 30% of the claims that NFIP pays out are for properties that are in a non-hazard zone. And as Jack said, a lot of the damage we're seeing this time are properties that got flooded, that aren't in a hazard zone, and they didn't have insurance, flood insurance. Flood insurance, if you're in a non-hazard zone, it's relatively inexpensive. You can get a policy for somewhere around $200 a year, possibly less. And because the communities and the state are advanced in what they do, they all participate in what we call this community rating system. They all have good scores, and that's going to allow you a discount depending on where you live. So look at it, and don't wait till the last second, because you can't wait till you see a storm coming, because once you purchase flood insurance, you have to wait 30 days before it becomes effective. I was in a flood one time where I lived, and water went from the floor to the ceiling, lost everything I had. I didn't have flood insurance, not a very good feeling. So don't be like me. You know, you have the opportunity to get it, plan ahead, and you know, insure yourself and protect yourself and your families. We have some good brochures in the back. We'll be around to answer any questions that you might have. And as they say here in Florida, make mitigation happen. Thank you.
A lot of people ask, where is the vision of the Gulf Coast African American Chamber going? And I actually literally told a young lady this yesterday. This is not my organization. This is our organization. So I say that to say that we have to get involved, and it's not a matter of what is the chamber going to do for you. It's a matter of what can you do for the chamber. And I know that sounds backwards, but I promise you, you'll get your investment. I talked to a construction owner, and he was like, you know, he was messing with me, though, with some other dudes or whatever. And I was like, you will get your return on your investment. If not 1 time, 3 times. You can get it 100 times over. It's just a matter of how involved you get in our organization. So with that being said, I had a young lady come into the office a week ago. She needed some assistance with a beautiful idea for a nonprofit. So we sat down and got through that application in 10 minutes because I'm just that good. But I wanted her to come and tell us about her organization and her idea. I'm just going to speak up for her a little bit. She's looking for board members. She's looking for ideas. She's looking for people to be involved. It's an excellent opportunity. And she's volunteering with the chamber. And so in exchange for taking 10 minutes to do her application, we did it together and getting some ideas on the business side of it. She just came and volunteered and helped me do some things, and she's still doing it. So Sabrina, if you don't mind coming up and telling us about your organization, that'd be great.
So thank you for having me. I made a couple of rounds earlier, but I know there are some people that I did not get to reach with the flyer, so I'm just going to skim over it kind of quickly, just to give you an insight of what I want to do and where I want to take this organization. So this is for the people that don't have a flyer. If you do have a flyer, I just ask that you bear with me and be patient, please, until I get through it. My name is Sabrina Murphy, and I am the founder of Just Love. I saw a need in my community as well as in my children, and so I decided that I need to push this organization forward because I know my children aren't the only children that's going through this situation. So this is just a background of what it is. Okay. Just Love is an organization to assist children and teens with behavioral problems. Just Love focuses on children and teens with absent parents, being one or both, children whose parents are going through divorce, children who have a hard time expressing themselves appropriately, as well as children who are lacking steady, unconditional love at home, whether it be from parents, siblings, or relatives. Our goal is to spread love to children and teens in need of it. With Just Love, we truly believe that our community will have a decline in juvenile arrests and assaults. Our main objective is to help children and teens overcome the revolving cycle that we see and have seen throughout generations. And then just an upbeat, a saying that we're trying to go here, God is love. He is every part of us that can express true love and give hope and light to others, bettering the world around us. Let's all create the reality of a better place and provide love for everyone. So that's basically just a background of what I want to do with this organization and where I want to take it. As I said before, I saw a need in my community and in my children. I'm going through a divorce, and I saw that they were beginning to act differently, acting out, really not expressing themselves in the correct manner that I knew that they were used to doing. And I have children that are in my family that are foster children, and I saw that they were just out of control behavior-wise because they don't have either parent in their life. So I just saw in just different aspects, not in my own household, but just everywhere, these children, they really don't have anywhere to turn. And I just noticed that there's really nowhere that they can really go and talk to someone and have someone mentor to them about what they're going through, how they feel that their parent isn't around or isn't in their life, or how do you feel about your parents going through divorce, how does this make you feel? There's really nothing out there that can assist them and to just talk to them and tell them it's going to be okay. So we basically want to have an office where they can come, we can talk to them, mentor them, as well as help them channel that negative energy somewhere positive, whether it be just their natural talents, if they can draw, if they can dance, if they can sing. We're just going to be there to just help them just be a better person in general and stay positive and not be so negative, even though they may see everything in the household as negative, just to show them that you don't have to be this. You can definitely overcome this and just stay positive. So that's basically what it is and where we're from. So,
Great idea.
yeah, thank you. Is there any questions? Anything?
On the board?
You have an age range for the kids?
Basically we want to start young, about 5 years old to the teenagers about 18, 17. Just because those are really the children that you really see acting out. They really can understand what's going on. They can really tell you what's going on in their life. So about 5 to 17, 18.
As a mentor, with your program, as far as on, will we have to be, like, will we have to learn anything about, because, like, say for instance, I like mentoring kids, but if a kid came to me, say I work with you, and a kid asks about a situation that I really don't know too much about, you know, I can be positive, but you know, are you going to have like some form of information to kind of like help the people who's volunteering with you to get a better understanding of what these kids might be going through with?
Yes, we would definitely have some back. We can look up like information about, okay, if this child's going through this, and we can give you pamphlets on how you can help that child, how you can talk to them about what issues would need to be addressed. Yes, definitely that would be something that we would have on hand to assist. If you really just, in your heart, feel like you just want to talk to these children, but really haven't had the experience,
Right.
yeah, we can definitely look up all types of ways that you can talk to them if you don't know it. Any other questions?
What are you looking for? What are your, what are you looking for? What are your needs?
My objective of being here today is basically just to get the word out about Just Loving this organization, to push it forward, to get any board members that are really serious and really have seen throughout your life or your child had children that really needed this type of organization around but just didn't have it. I would definitely like your assistance. My email is all on the flyer. If you don't have it, you can see me later and I can give it to you, or my number as well. So basically just anyone that is in your heart generally really care about these children that really need this. That's basically what I'm looking for. Is that it?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Well, I just want to say that I think that it's a great opportunity to get on a grassroots organization, and she's just getting started. I feel All right. So membership is we have different levels of membership. We have the business professional, which is a person who might work for a corporation or organization. They're not necessarily in business, but they want to network with business owners and other business professionals. That's only $75. You spend that on a pair of shoes. And it's an investment, guys. It's an investment. So let me say that. Better than a pair of shoes. A $75 pair of shoes.
You got an annual fee?
Yeah, it is annual. So the date that you pay is the date that your membership will start. So then we have a business that has 5 or less employees. It's a small business. It's $125. The difference between a business professional and a small business is a small business, those 4 or 5 employees that you have, they are also, so if you want someone to represent you as a business professional for your business, that does include that. So you can have representation of your business from someone other than yourself. You don't want to be a business professional and you're a business owner. I don't recommend it because your business will not be what is being promoted. So for example, if Nicole Dixon came in, then I would just be Nicole Dixon. But if the Gulf Coast African American Chamber came in, then I would be the Gulf Coast African American Chamber. So when it comes to being listed in our directory, we're doing a visitor's guide. When it comes to being listed in the visitor's guide, we only list a business professional as a business professional. But if you're you take the time, you do the $50. It's just a $50 difference if you're a small business. Then you get to promote your business. We promote your business. You give member-to-member discount. Business professionals don't have member-to-member discounts. It's just you promote your business owner. So then we have $150 for 6 or more employees for a small business. That's 6 to 25 employees. So if you have 6 to 25, you pay additional $25, and you can be, and that's another business membership. And then if you have over 26 employees, we have what we call a corporate partnership, which is only $500. Great investment if you have 26 or more employees. So the benefits is member-to-member discounts. We have a portal where you can advertise your business. We have newsletters where we can send out information on your business. You can offer coupons to other business members. Guys, you'll be amazed by the phone calls that I receive or we receive in our office on, hey, do you know somebody who does this, or do you know somebody who does that? We're looking for minority contractors. We're looking for minority photographers. We're looking for minorities in many different fields. So being a member of the chamber, naturally, we always refer our chamber members. And then when I talk about the committees and I talk about the organizations and the things that you can be involved with, we think of our members and we refer those things to our members. So it's a network that you normally wouldn't have access to. Is the greatest benefit of the chamber. I could talk about some of the other things, but I really just love talking about the power of the network that we have. So I'll talk to you about the power of our network, which as a business owner, it wasn't, but it's just how powerful the network is. Our air conditioner broke in our office, and we was hot. And I'm talking about last week, so I'm not talking about January. And a guy came in, he's doing an event, and he wanted to connect with the chamber. And he was like, why is it so hot in here? I was like, cuz we're trying to get tans. So he was like, explain. But so he actually reached out and had someone come and replace our air conditioner in our office space. They didn't charge us anything, but that is the power of our network, that we are here, we're willing to help each other, and all sometimes it is a phone call, us to reach out and touch someone. Yeah, that's original. But really, guys, it's just, like I say, you can talk about all the great things, but just that power of that network and being tapped into something that is greater than you, and I can't even find words, see? That's how great it is. But anyway, so you get the member-to-member discounts. We're doing a visitor's guide. We're so excited about this visitor's guide. This visitor's guide is it's a directory and a visitor's guide. It'll be for tourism, but it'll also be for a place where people will be able to go and look for different types of businesses to do business with. There's no publication right now that displays all the minority businesses in Pensacola, but this directory will. Our members get in it for free, and then we also have where you can upgrade to a business card listed full color for $45. And then all of our ads, if you do ad sizes, we have discounts on those also. But it'll be distributed throughout the Southeast region in different places where people can see. It'll also be distributed online digitally through our website and our members only portal. And then we've also teamed up with Solodex, which is an app, a local owned app, a local businessman, one of our members. He's did a mobile app where you can go online and it's GPS located. He has a GPS locator. So if you were in Belmont and the Villas and you was looking for chicken, then it would tell you where the chicken was at. If you was looking for burgers, watermelon.
Keep it cliche.
But if you wanted salad, it would tell you a salad. But basically a barber, it can tell you what those things at. So if you're in our directory, we'll make sure you get in that app so that people can find you and they'll know you right down the street. And then the fourth way is we teamed up with Visit Pensacola. Visit Pensacola is the tourist entity here, and they are also going to display our visitor's guide on their website. So people, as they're coming into Pensacola, whether they're moving, whether they're visiting, they'll visit your business because they'll see that guide on that website. Now, last thing I'm going to say is that I wanted to show that there are many people that are interested in partnering with the Gulf Coast African American Chamber of Commerce, and some of our new corporate sponsors are Cox Communications, Gulf Power, Baptist Hospital, UWF. I'm flipping through my head. And we have talks with PSC and somebody else. But these organizations are very excited to work with us. We're very excited to work with them. And those are opportunities that you're leaving on the table. And I'll leave you with this. People do business with people that they know and they like. Y'all have a good night. That was powerful. I'm dropping the mic.